I'm at the University of Minnesota landscape arboretum, I believe they're calling it. And aside from that Amer tree, I came across this buckeye tree, Aesculus. This is Autumn Splendor, so that's cool. Carl Forster grass all down through here, Calamagrostis, but look at such a great mass planting, great look when it's feather reed grass when it gets that up like that. Phenomenal look. They've got things shut down all sorts of ways around here, so I'm not sure where I'm really allowed to go, but we're gonna be rebels. Bazillions of different plants. There's a red salvia, Texas sage. This is a Korean mountain ash, which is pretty wild. Some beautiful bluestone here. I want to show you these big treads. Look at these crazy things. Look at those. Those are 7 feet wide. Single bluestone stepper treads. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Salvia, Brunnera. Some yarrow, I believe. Echinacea. Man, how cool is this for you plant dorks out there? Like me, some phlox, paniculata, which I don't plant enough of. I should plant more. Sedum, class act. Allium, those are cool, even for midsummer bloom. That's really cool. Nice. So you see this girdling root right there? Ideally, when you can catch those early enough, you want to, because look, it's going all the way around because there's no root flare, unless the grade's been raised artificially. You want to cut those girdling roots if you catch them. And even the general thought is to go ahead and cut them even at that size because it's going to choke the tree anyways. So I don't know. I guess you could kind of roll the dice on that concept. Once again, these these narcissus, or daffodils, are common name. They're completely done producing for the season, so it'd be fine, of course, to deadhead them. Any herbaceous perennials like that, daffodils, tulips, etc., you want to let them get, I can give you a good example here. When they're still green like this, they're still producing food, you know, via photosynthesis, because they're still green. So they're still producing food for next year, as opposed to these guys are completely done. So as best you can, let these things get as ugly as you can stand it so that they fortify themselves enough for next season. I want to show you this Korean pine here. Look at this thing. Isn't this thing crazy looking? Absolutely beautiful. Steel cage gabions getting used a lot more in landscape, you know, structures and features. That one's full of like chunk glass, which is a cool concept. I wish my creative brain worked that way. I can never think of cool stuff like that to do. Or when I do come up with something that I think is very creative, it's so off the wall, it's ridiculous. And Brittany's like, ugh. This is gorgeous through here. Absolutely gorgeous through this part. Beautiful here under the shade of these trees. I want to say it's a Kentucky coffee tree. I'll have to look. Beautiful here under the shade of these trees. Winter chicken dinner. Cool. Something I think we planted 1 or 2 of these. I wish I did more of it. We really should. It's a cool tree. Hydrangeas going absolutely bonkers. Look how big those things are. Jeepers creepers. That's awesome. Great place to brush up on your plant and horticulture ID, obviously. This raised hardscape space here in like a Teco Antica style looking paver there. I like these a lot, but you see those giant void spaces. These, if you want to keep them pristine looking, they're going to take a lot of maintenance, but otherwise it's a really cool look. All these lilies through here. There's a ton of daylilies, Asiatic lilies. Man. All these lilies through here. There's a ton of giant allium art. Very cool. Giant alley. that dual leader there. If you can catch that early enough in its growth, you want to prune those out. You don't want those in a tree that's considered an ex-current type tree. It means it has one trunk, so you want to try to get those out as much as you can. See witch hazel as you know, natural medicine or something like that. So that's Hamamelis virginiana, which we have down home, and they make some kind of oil out of this here. Hort, dork, big basswood there, Tilia, which is in the linden family. And by the way, I use all these things. I'm not always right on this stuff. I'm getting pretty rusty. I would say that's Father Gila. Look at that, but it's got, well, what is that? I thought it had like a powdery mildew, but no, that's blue shadow. So it's got a waxy coating on it there, making it that color. Very cool. Lots of peonies, holy cow. This bur oak here that's a bazillion years old is dead. And they have a posting here on it, but it died from bur oak blight, which I didn't know was a thing, which is a shame. Quercus, macrocarpa, right? So, what a bummer, what a shame. Horo buggies are cool, man. They dump. Manual transmission, apparently. I want one of these bad. That'd be cool, man. Holy cow. Little sight dump truck would be sweet. Again, this walkover passageway. I saw Eric Triplett, little pond digger, do something like this walkway across here, which I really love. I want to do something like that at some point. Big fish, some water quality issues. This could be naturalized in a little bit better, but what do I know? There's a paper birch. Really like this concept here, right overlooking the gorge, although I'd prefer that wall to be a little lower so you can see down over the hill a little easier. But I really like this setup here. You've got some, you know, hard surface but softened with a lot of curvature. I saw all this stuff through here. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I realized these are maple tree tap spigots and harvesting lines. How cool is that, man? That's hardcore. That'll bring in a ton of that. I've done a good bit of this now over the years. I say a good bit of it. I've got more time in it than I do actual production, but harvesting the sap from the Acer saccharum sugar maples, 40 gallons of sap equals 1 gallon of boiled down maple syrup. But that's cool. I need to get a system like that. That'd really be the way to do it. An area dedicated to just hedges, which is super cool. 3-mile drive up that way. So there's a spruce hedge, for crying out loud. So that's cool.